All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're loading in for trial number 1 of the playoffs for Group B. It is Silence versus Hysteric. We're going to be on the Orand Lake Mine, which is kind of crazy. I haven't seen this map too much. Super excited for it. I'm your little regard, and joining me today is Temmie Zold. How you doing, friend?
I'm doing just dandy. I still can't believe that we're already at the semifinals.
Oh no, it's not quite there. We got so Group B is a bit weird. We got a lot of Group B teams, as Group B was larger than Group A. So we got a little bit more than just some semifinals going on, or maybe it is semifinals, and I'm just an idiot. Oh my goodness! Look at the perfect setup for the bottles there.
Yeah, it was. I was wondering. I was like, why are we throwing that one? But that makes sense now. Taking that hit over to Ace.
About to say, clown players are just built different, you know.
They are.
They kind of chunky.
How different? Just kind of chunky.
They're kind of chunky. I like it.
Hey, they're doing their best. Oh,
that was a great read from the Ace there, knowing that they'd be too slow for the ball to make the window, and so they're just going to hold that pallet. They actually played that incredibly well, and I think they're going to go back inside. Oh my goodness, they get so much distance here.
Nice.
Not quite able to hold the bottle. Oh, they might be caught out here.
Might. They are.
You know what? I don't have to take this kind of assault right now. The survivors are doing gens. Look at that. They got 3 different gens going too. However, I think that chase didn't last quite as long as they were hoping for a beginning chase. Obviously, no hit tanks were rotating in there, as hit tanks don't really seem to do much against Clown, if I'm being honest. Unless you're playing desperation mode, then you can try and force something. But generally, I think I like the idea of just splitting 3 gens. And the killer does have a nice string of gens up here on Shaq's side. Renato's gen is quite progressed as well. Then what's the one that was pain resed?
Yeah, you got lucky in choosing actually the correct one. That had the most progress.
Yep, that's a really, really good gen. Clown is very much interested in coming over here, applying a little bit of eruption to the generator, and gonna be moving right back over to the unhook as a... Actually, to be fair, I don't know if you... Okay, they are going to go for the pull.
Yeah.
That's going to be 1 gen, 1 hook, and a lot of extra gens. Oh, a little bit of 4 people coming in as well.
Oh. Let's go. Now let's see if that actually pays off for the Claudette. Because with my luck, every single time I'm like, okay, I got you. And then they come straight to me, and I was like, okay, never mind.
Yep, that checks. Ooh, and they will take attack, but that means they probably... You know, if they make good distance and block line of sight, they could probably make Shaq here if they play this well. They're going to actually be diverting a little bit. Yeah, they're heading straight to Shaq.
Yeah.
But they're getting cut off a little bit. This doesn't lead directly into it, but they're missing some bottles. No hit tank coming in. That's going to be a hit at the... They actually missed that. I thought that was going to be a hit.
Just quite yet.
Oh, no. And they don't get to stop the gen.
Done.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, they knew what they were doing, seriously. Considering that they pushed that through with just 1 hook. They're going to drop that, yep.
That's a good read from the Cloud, knowing they're not going to make it, get a little bit of boost, catch up to them. And this should be able to be a hit here. Yeah, there's no pallet. Window is available, but it's not going to be in time. And
oh, can you stop denying that to them?
They're checking their ping right now. They're like, okay, what server am I on? And I think their server is fine. I think they actually just bumped onto the rock and just got pushed off. But I say, yeah. I think they took a second to calm down. I think that was like one of those moments where it's like you miss for the second time and you just sit there and you scream into the silence, and then you just was like, okay, I'm good, I'm done.
It's like it's fine. Yeah, that gen's almost done too.
Yeah, survivors are definitely putting the pressure on. Hysteric is doing a pretty dang good job so far on the generators. And we see the reset coming in on the other side. They actually do get the reset as one thing I'm also surprised at, and it may just be the map, the reason, there's no sloppy butcher either. Okay, yeah, they're gonna be going for freshes.
Nice.
Very good hit.
Very good use on, was it eruptions?
Yeah, they got a good proc on eruption. However, this hook over here in the corner, they're not going for a hit tank. They were thinking about it, but not. I think they called out that the killer has agitation, and that does make sense, as the hooks on this map are a little bit not together, but they can be really spread out. So if you're going to be bringing pain res, it definitely helps. And plus, obviously for Clown, positioning helps as well. But like, this is a 2-2 split, pretty cut and dry. Survivors are getting gens done. I I would bet money this is not 4K territory. However, they still got plenty of time for stages potentially. Try and get, you know, 3, preferably 4 fresh, maybe 6. And I think that would be a respectable result with the way that, again, 2 really tough whiffs right into the Survivor's back.
Yeah. Now, I thought I saw the Survivor go actually towards Claudette, but I guess not.
I think they were considering it, but they don't want to get caught out here. Go for the unhook and then immediately allow for the tunnel, because the killer has good line of sight on them. I think they're... Well, now you know where everybody is, though. Yeah. And now you feel a lot better about committing to any kind of chase. Are they... Yeah, they're securing second stage. Makes a bit of sense.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what gen are they going to work on? Is it they got something at Shack? Missed skill check again? Are they vaulting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, gotta go for the tunnel. Oh, they have second wind, but that's not gonna pop off though. But I say they knew the body block. Well, that's the problem. If you allow the body block to happen, you're in a worse shape because then the heal comes through. So you much rather not. Yeah, great body block being set up here by Fang. And Renato also setting up as well, which means I think Ace is the final survivor not accounted for, which means they're on a gen. But that means the killer is gonna swap off onto the survivor. They're gonna get not a lot of distance, but this is but I say this is a safe pallet. I do not think you can mind game this.
No, it's so big. Oh.
Wait, she had adrenaline? Oh, that's so brutal. And they're gonna get speed boost off of the gas. Oh my goodness, that adrenaline play was actually clutch. And they got everybody healed up so they can hit tank her out. The coordinated pallet drop. Oh my goodness. I've never seen that before, actually. Hit tank coming through. However, she's not on the right side to get in. There's an exit on the opposite side, but nobody's working on that one. As we can see, there's no lights on it. She's actually not out of the game yet. I'm gonna try and close the distance, but I don't know how you get her out now. Okay, that is where you want to be. Body blocks coming in, but they get around her. More body blocks coming in. However, the gas is gonna come in. Ace is that's it. You have to sacrifice Ace here, but they're not gonna get it, and they're gonna get the fresh after all. They fought hard for that.
Yeah, they did.
Uh-oh, Renato needs to be careful. They represent a fresh stage also. They don't want to give too many stages here. And I'm about to say, yeah, you want to chase them out of the game. Do not let them come back in for the unhook or reset. Well, that's a clog on the Claudette. Yeah, I'm about to say. Now you force them out. They don't force them out. Okay, never mind. They're leaving.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They are happy with this result. This is a 5-stage 3 fresh for the clown, and survivors are saying, yeah, we can match that. So they're not going to risk it for the unhook, and that is going to be the conclusions of trial number 1. This is a really odd game.
That was.
This is not at all what I was expecting here, but I don't hate it. I'm just again, we don't have a very large sample size for games on this map, so clown on this map is very interesting. All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're loading in for trial number 2. It is the return of the clown, and we're looking in the pregame. If you notice over to the left side, a new age of blending has been achieved. We are on the Orand Lake mine, and there is Soma for a survivor in this game. So we'll see if we can actually spot anybody here. This is gonna be right. Hey, look, they spotted him.
Everybody. Soma, there you are.
Soma, I've been looking everywhere for you. Okay, we seem to have the same recurring problem here.
Yes. I think the clown has short arms.
It's very possible. It is very, very possible, but at the very least, they do not have short legs. They are very, very, very fast.
Yes. Ooh, he didn't want to mind game that. He's like, no.
Ooh.
Okay.
A good first chase for the killer once again. This killer did bring Sloppy Butcher this time. And they're just going to be heading straight over to the nearest hook, dropping them down, and that's going to be a pain resonance. And the survivors do not have the same level of gen pressure.
They don't.
Oh my goodness, look at this cloud outfit. That is terrifying.
Yes.
Oh, I like this idea. Taking a tag and just running away. You got the about to say this is the kind of killer you cannot give free tags against. Sloppy makes this way more difficult.
Yeah, no. I think that was the key part of having Sloppy.
Yep. And now the survivors have a problem. They've given this killer 2 effectively free tags. And we do not have gen pressure here. Yeah, this confirms the killer. Like, yeah, this is second stage. The survivors are giving the killer second stage here because they cannot commit now. They need to reset. They need to wait for Sloppy to wear off. This is an abysmal start for the survivors.
Yes, it is. My goodness. Yeah, that's. Oh. During that second stage, wait, was someone behind there?
I don't know. I think they're just kind of locking down all the avenues so there's no last second hook save coming in.
Yeah.
And they do finish the central gen. Second stage is secured. And Survivor over here is in a huge amount of trouble. Expecting Z-Wall gaming, but they're just going to go to the corner for a trade.
Yeah,
Survivor will accept it. That means Unhook will be coming in.
Let's hope so.
Yep, there's the unhook.
Yeah, there. Okay. I was
And
wondering.
Jake,
I was like, please let it happen.
I don't know if Jake finishes this gen or not before pain res. No, they don't. And again, they haven't finished the second gen. This gen over here gets eruption applied to it. They need to heal and reset Soma. Survivor and Jake takes a tag, or no, Ace takes a tag. This is a horrible setup for them now. They have to drop pallet, but now they're kind of zoned here.
There they are.
Survivor is absolutely caught out. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna force the pick. Reset's coming in. They still haven't gotten the unhook yet. They have to heal. Sloppy Butch is no longer applied to either of them, but
it's gonna grant them a second stage, isn't it? Oh,
it very well could. Again, the killer has 3 fresh now.
this clown definitely did not want to just come in and make party balloon animals.
Yeah, this is rough.
Wait, did he? Nice. Well, at least they were going to 2 different ones, so they could kind of make it spread.
They did do better on that one. Yeah, that was definitely close to what they needed.
Hoping that they could. Ooh.
Oh, expecting them to slow down more.
Yeah.
That's not going to matter. That's going to be a down. And I think someone was the first one found, right? So this is a death hook.
Yeah. Back to the campfire via the entity.
Wow. Yeah, this is rough.
I keep forgetting there's that pallet little right there.
Yeah, it's a really weird pallet. Oh,
that and the under the ground thing right here.
Yeah, they actually missed that because your hitbox went down at the same time, and so they kind of swung into midair. But again, at this point, I think this is just lights out.
Yeah. And they tried though.
Yeah, and that's second stage on Ada. So at this point, that is, I think, the win.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think survivors are going next. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, or at least this survivor is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Unless they were I don't understand the point of giving an unhook for that, I guess.
Yeah. Really nice of them to actually figure out how to hit that bottle right in that corner. I have no luck aiming at that. Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. Yeah, because they left on hook.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but I say I don't think you get the hatch here either, because Killer can get inside you and block it now. Wait.
Oh.
Huh.
Okay.
Surprising.
Right.
Huh. Yeah. Interesting. All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're loading in for trial number 3. It is the Oni on the Father Campbell's Chapel, and actually, so I've seen Oni plenty of times. I've seen Father Campbell's Chapel plenty of times. I don't think I've seen that many Oni Father Campbell Chapel games, I'm being completely honest. This is not a normal pairing that I have been witness to, but Temmie, what do you expect here, friend?
I expect that these survivors actually have learned their lesson and they will actually get gens done this time. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, you're right. I haven't seen this pair actually together in the situation. Ooh, sorry, getting that hit.
Yeah, but I say an early tag's not what they want to be giving. Bamboozle to get through the window, and this is going to be probably just a couple more seconds of chase to get the blood orbs. Maybe get Shack Pallet out of the way. And the question is, I don't know if you commit to this down here. Again, it depends on the Oni. Some Onis prefer to commit to the down. Some of them want to get their power and just go. Yeah, but I think they just want to get their power and go. What I do appreciate is that they didn't pop it.
That's true. Kind of give them a forewarning where they're at too. Yeah,
usually they want to confirm where they are first. And I was about to say, if you wanted to pop power right there, you knew that was a double up. You knew that was a double up. There's no way that gen gets done otherwise. But yeah, so they got one potential 3 gen broken. Now they got the one on this side. Yeah, I was gonna say, can you imagine pop power, body blocked, down, go for another one? Like, that's an incredible start. And now Killer's kind of holding on, wondering where they want to go here.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Oh, Nancy was trying. They were hoping to vacuum him into the pallet, but like, I don't think any experienced Oni would actually swing into the pallet there, and that is going to be an eruption onto the main building gen. They see the gen being cranked away. Will it finish in time? I don't think it does, and this is going to be a pain res potentially. It is, and that's going to stop the main building gen altogether. No, it's actually the Shack gen.
Oh, okay.
Power in hand. Where do you go?
Okay, it looks like they are going to be taking down working on the gens.
Shack gen's not a bad one to go for. Main building gen's also not bad. It's more central. However, they still have this 3 gen towards not clown side, towards carnival side. Yeah,
carnival.
Circus, carnival. You know,
it's all the same.
It's all insulting when you call me that, but it's okay.
Wow. First of all, no. Second of all, no, just kidding.
Bless. And
but they wouldn't guarantee a second stage. Ooh, nice.
Actually, securing a second stage here is not the worst. You've got power in hand. You know that Eruption's going to hit the gen. There's only 2 gens done, which 2 gens for a second stage to guarantee a tunnel out in a 2 gen, 1 gen left scenario. That's kind of a good spot for Oni to be at. That is not the absolute best, but I would say it's ideal.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they got the fact that they were able to get that second hook.
Yep, second hook confirmed.
Than before.
And we've got a bit of gen progress. They were working the gen in the back, and we even see, I'm about to say, Ace with the sprint burst, but they're zoned. Oh, this is a bad spot for Ace to be in. Power could be popped here, but it looks like they actually want to get an injury and avoid the pallet drop. Yeah, I'm about to say that I don't think they only can play around that pallet.
No. Even with its powers, I think it's just going to be a little bit harder.
Oh, actually, Tori finishing a generator, main building gen at that.
Nice.
Kind of in the killer's face, honestly. Now you're in a weird spot. Now you know that the gens are firing. They can confirm this this death stage here if they really feel like it, but that means that they might actually get 5 gens done. That's not where you want to be.
Oof.
Oh, that was a good read on the killer's part, though. And yeah, they're gonna have to send Ace in for the. No, they're committing to their gens. Nancy goes next. 4th gen complete. You know the 5th one's back here. Do they finish in time?
Ooh.
Ace has to wait out this power. Oh, that was a great sprint burst.
Nice. Oh my.
Vacuuming in. There's no there's no window here, but they fatigue out.
Oh, they ran out of powers.
But I say that means the survivor might be rotating in. Yeah, but I say Tari was trying to rotate back in, and they have to defend this generator setup in the back. However, I think that means they're left with their 3-gen carnival side.
Yeah,
yeah,
they are. Yeah.
They still have this to fall onto. It is a 3v1. One survivor not injured anymore, but it is the last survivor here. And after this injury, I think they have enough blood in the back, though.
Yeah, they do. Because considering how Ace was... Ooh.
They are committing this. They finished this. Wow, I think they can finish this.
Yes, you got this. No! I forgot about the eruption.
Oh, my word.
That just got hurt.
I cannot believe that just happened. They didn't call it the eruption. Actually, has he used eruption this game? Yeah, he did. He used it on main building. They thought they had it. They were off by literally a split second. Oh my goodness. I'm shocked. I cannot believe this. Silence was looking at such an incredible result. And now this could be 4K1. We were looking at stages out. Well, okay, potentially. They still had power in hand. You still have 2 survivors that would have been on the ground. Tari does get picked up, though.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I think they actually might have had tenacity. Yeah, they had tenacity. Oh, you love to see it. I love tenacity so much. That perk is so goated. They see where both survivors are. I think they still want to try and go for a snowball here. Ace extending a little bit. I say Tari needs to be very far away, and they're going to force the locker pick. I think they're happy to take this trade. Ace will get the unhook, or sorry, Jake will get the unhook. But now you get a hook further back.
Fortunately, there's a lot of power for him in this area.
True, you've got a lot of blood. You didn't use anything by that initial gen. You got this gen here. Saving the pain res for later. Yeah, the killer, this... Unless the survivors pull some crazy shenanigans here, this is looking like 4K1, folks.
Mm-hmm. They still have that palette? Oh.
Yeah, but say they're kind of in a horrible spot. Hey, oh my goodness. That's the other thing that I'm surprised with. We're seeing them play Oni. This is after Oni received some pretty weird changes. Again, I'm not against console having 180 flicks, but it seems like it made the controls just really weird all the way around.
Yeah.
So the killers are actually like, you know, having to almost relearn. Oh, that was smash hit. Do they get distance for it though? I don't know if they get enough. They don't. That is 4K1 with the last of the power. Oh my goodness. This was such a swing. I genuinely thought we were looking at stages out after that gen popped. At the very least, maybe 6. And now it's again, Oni matches, nothing is set in stone. It is very, very swingy.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
What?
What?
You're fired.
Oh, okay. I'll take my severance package. Thank you.
Well, I think severance disbanded, so I don't know if that's going to work out.
What? Nobody needs to know that. It's the legalities.
Yeah, that was, folks, that was incredible. This killer literally, with a 99 gen, got the eruption proc and turned a, you know, what probably would have been a 2-stay, like maybe a 2k8 into a 4k1. That's crazy.
Being able to turn that around completely.
Yeah, that was a massive reversal, and Hysteric is going into set number 2 looking really good here, as Silence's killer has to at least, you know, tie something to make something happen here. But with that said, all right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're loading in for trial number 4. It is the halfway point for the end of the line. As we are returning to the Oni, we have Silence killing. We have a Renato who's not here.
No!
Renato, no! Renato! They readied up. For context, I thought they were back. I cannot be held responsible for this. So, folks, context: this survivor took a bathroom break, and they asked if they could. We gave them a time, and somehow they still readied up despite not having returned from the bathroom. An unfortunate coincidence, however, very fortuitous for the Oni, as that is a very quick early down that they have in their favor. I'm not.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not really sure how to feel about that.
Saying you are being blamed again.
Yeah. So just some context there. The survivor's not that like that. That was a complete accident. That was someone readied up and they weren't supposed to, and I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
But we are here, and we are in for it, and we'll see how the survivors respond. Hysteric is already proven to be very resourceful. Maybe it won't end up mattering.
Yeah. They're letting them to get the unhook? Oh, he's back. Okay.
Yep, they're back. They have some questions.
Yeah. Because I know the other opposing team is just confused. The killer's just like, wait, what is going on now?
Indeed. Sorry, this is just a little bit on the weird side. That I don't think I've seen a start like that before.
I mean, I have it in like, regular VR games, but not comp.
Yeah, I'm about to say the second stage is secured.
Yep.
And we are in chase with Ace. They do even get their first gen done. Survivors are fighting back. Unhook coming through. Popping power. Looks like they're probably going to go right back to the hook.
Let's go. They had
Renato going to the basement.
Renato. Oh, okay.
And that is going to be Death Hook incoming, as there is no decisive strike. Oni going to take their hook in the basement, and now begins the 3v1. However, to be fair, the survivors have 2 gens now.
Yeah, they do.
If they get... So here's the thing. They have to get 3 more gens. I don't think it's impossible for them to get a gen, maybe even 2 done here, but I'll be completely honest. I don't know how you get the 3rd one done. You've got to have some incredibly good chases and power. But again, Hysteric has played incredibly well sometimes, and we'll see if they're able to hold up and get to it, but...
Oof. You think they're going to be... Yeah. I mean, they're... Oh, there's Ace. Okay. I was like, where are the survivors right now?
Not sure. Oh, actually did a really good job, and...
Oh.
Okay.
They wanted a photo op instead.
Oh, they tried to crouch it instead of vaulting. That is good. Actually, so another thing I'm noticing, this killer does not have splintered hull. They're using Lion's Fang Aikido's crutch.
Interesting.
So not nearly as much blood. However, that is going to be a pain resonance coming in from the killer. And not even sure what generator had progress there that it hit. And oh my goodness, this killer's about to be right back in power here. That is kind of brutal.
In this picture, it doesn't even look like he really needed pop, to be honest. They got away with another perk instead.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't realize Feng was over here. Feng definitely caught out a little bit. Don't know if they get anywhere from Shaq. Again, these powers are brutal. Oh, great stun.
Nice. Hopefully play that wall.
Gonna go around the side, but oh, this is actually the top. Actually, I think they have balanced landing here. And they get it too.
Oh. I was just trying to see if she's still gonna keep using that. No, she's not. Okay.
No, pallet is gone.
She just realized that too, and I don't think it's gonna.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a down. Ace is gonna be pushed off of his gen a little bit.
Oh, and there's a hook right up there too. I keep forgetting about that.
I don't really see that hook spawn too often, so that's interesting.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, yeah. This is not looking good for the survivors now. They do not have nearly as much gen pressure as I think they were hoping to have at this point, and between the pain res and everything else, they've had some good chases here and there, but just not quite what you need. Yeah, and now this area's a dead zone. Shack pallet's gone, this pallet's gone, filler pallet's gone at the 4 lane. Or not the 4 lane, the junk tile next to it. I think it's I think survivors are on their last vestige of hope here.
It's just, if only those chases were a little bit longer, they could have at least had some gen progress, because I don't think they have anything right now, just considering those 2 gens were just popped and that's it. And okay. Fungus.
Yeah,
all the way over here.
Definitely caught out. There is a pallet for them to use, but the killer's just going to be gaining their power the whole time.
Yeah. Oof.
Survivor's actually holding really well. Vaulting across, and they will end up going down inevitably. Yeah. So you have to wait for a little bit because eventually Bloodlust will kick in, and it's just not a good time. Not quite enough for their power. It looks like they're 1 orb off. Is there an orb in the vicinity? No, they got one when they hook, though. And like that, power in hand. What do the survivors have? Halfway on 1 gen. Looks like Claudette's gonna be sneaking up for another. Hopping locker. I do like that play. Ace on this gen, stealthing away.
Oh, it was that one. Okay. I was trying to figure out. I was like, wait. There's Claudette. Oh.
Is that sprint burst?
Yes. Question mark?
Oh, I was mixing it last game. I was like, wait, didn't Ace have sprint burst? I think it was the last game Ace had sprint burst.
Yeah.
Fung hanging out on second stage. Looping around. They see scratch marks from Ace.
There it is.
Oh, they forced the... Oh my goodness, that was a good fake.
Oh, and there's... Yeah, eruption.
No, like, they got stunned, and it took them out of power?
Wait, it did? I thought it ran out.
Yeah, it ran out, but they... That's what I'm saying. It ran out, but the stun or the out of power thing went away.
Like canceled.
Yeah,
it like canceled the whole animation.
Yeah, it was really weird. Also, I'm not really sure why Claudette jumped into the killer's arms. I'm wondering if they might have genuinely not seen them. It was very, very weird, but regardless, this is going to be 4K3 for the killer now.
Yeah.
And we'll be going on to set 3 because of it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for the tie breaks, as we are going to be going, I believe, yes, a tale has told us time. It is a Wraith mirror on the Dead Dog Saloon. It's kind of funny. We actually haven't seen that much Wraith on Dead Dog this season, despite it being, I would say, a very classic matchup.
Yeah, well, yeah, because what have we had? Mastermind and Singularity from mine. That I've seen matches, and I was like, okay.
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
There's the variety on Dead Dog this season has been quite impeccable. We've seen Good Guy, like you said, Mastermind. I want to say we saw Dark Lord. Oddly enough, no Nurse. Just there's a several variety of killers on that map. It's just Wraith again, Wraith is very common, and it's also kind of weird because again, this is South American, so we're on South American ping a little bit. So a lot of the nuance to a Wraith set like that on Dead Dog is, you know, the technicalities when it comes to the windows, a lot of mechanical play and microplay, and you don't really get that when you're on 250 ping. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a bit of a weird game.
Yeah, but we're here for it already. Let's see.
Yeah,
we'll see
very, very weird.
Out.
But regardless, we're moving on to set number 3 for the time. All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We're loading in for trial number 5. Wraith, it's Dead Dog Saloon. You all know this set. We all know this set. Temmie, what do you know?
I don't know this set. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. I do know this set, and it looks like they actually got chased with Ace, right? Wait, what? What happened?
Wraith. Okay, never mind. This is not a normal Wraith set. We don't have Bamboozle.
No, we don't. Oh, that's right.
Very interesting. Obviously, Brutal Strength is not a. You don't care for Brutal Strength, but Bamboozle. Even if you're not Wraith, Bamboozle is something you take here. But Killer did not take it, and very interesting. We'll see how it comes into play. Maybe they are really expecting that ping to come into play and Survivors not to play these windows. But
maybe. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting, folks. We're gonna a little bit of shakeup here. However, we do have the classic Sloppy Butcher. Sloppy Butcher we know about. That is very, very common. Again, it's like Sloppy Bam. It's like Sloppy Bam, and then like Eruption Pain Res. Or sometimes you go for Corrupt Pain Res, Corrupt Eruption. It's all preference, but like, this is weird.
That is. And it's just, I mean, but Ace is really, there goes a gen, yeah. That's what to say. Ace has been doing pretty good on this chase of letting the other survivors actually work on gens. Shouldn't have said anything like that. I should just let him keep playing.
No, that is the caster's curse. And as again, doubling up on that first gen, that means this next gen's gonna get pain res. Yep. And it's gonna be a pain res on that gen. So 1.5 gens for a first hook. I would say that's pretty consistent part of the course, all things considered. And one thing of note, just real quick, I do apologize, folks, if you hear it over the comms. There is a really big thunderstorm out for the next several days, and we're just kind of bear through it. So I do apologize if there's some noise over the mic.
Fine.
Good for the people, though.
Oh, they did have that. Okay. Oh, that was the Claudette last game too, right? Well, not last, but the one in Ormond.
Yep, that was the Claudette with 4 people last time. So it seems like they do have a rotating role here. Killer not able to get a hit, but just got some resources out of the way. It's going to be heading right back to them.
Yeah. Oh.
Dropping down from the top. No balance line, as I don't believe that perk is allowed in this set. Getting a swing through the window, though. And I think Wraith might be taking chase here. Yeah, they're going to take this. Now the question is, where do you go? Looks like they're heading towards the back. They do have a little bit of time on their hands. Pain Res has been used already. Eruption is on that back gen. Do they finish in time? Ace took a really good job at this pallet, wasting as much time as possible. Swinging through and greedy.
Nice.
I cannot. They just did that on ping. That was on ping they did that. That is really insane.
And proc for him. They're getting the third one.
I wanted to check the progress, but no, they're doubling it now, actually. So they will finish this regardless. That's going to be 3 gens for 2 stages on this Survivor. Survivor's actually doing some pretty good work here.
They're seeing the conditions that they have to meet, so they're definitely like, nope, we're not letting this happen. What's more? Claudette. I think she's gonna, okay. Kind of gave up on Claudette. Just gonna go for whoever's gonna go for the save.
Well, I'm about to say, you want Claudette to go for the save because they're the For the People player, but they haven't got a reset yet. And they actually stopped the rotation from Rebecca being able to go for and get that unhook. So now, no pallet here. This might be a tag, but they're going to be taking him far away from that hook. Swinging through the pallet, and unfortunate hit. Yeah, get the blind. Nice good champion of light, though, which means they might be able to, but I say they get a Survivor over there. Is that 6%? Not 6%. Is it 6% or 15% slowdown? I forget.
I want to say.
Yeah, so they actually got the slowdown on there. Trying to body block the Killer, but not going to happen. Ace can be dropping down. Looks like Yeah, Fung is going to be rotating in for the body block. They get it, and that's going to give the killer a lot. Yeah, I say Survivor's going to get a lot of distance to the other side now. You have to cloak back up. They bought their, but now here's the issue. Everyone's injured. This could be a snowball. Rebecca getting body blocked. It's going to be forced back towards the wagon with not the safest pallet. Oh my goodness, they still make the pallet on the other side.
Nice.
Absolutely incredible.
That they're gonna be able to. Yeah, they're trying to reset right here.
Oh, they got an ace reset. That's so good for them.
Nice.
And now they're chasing back into this area where a lot of they still got a lot of pallets. They still got a lot of resources. And Ace is healthy now. Oh, that was rough. Now you have to pre-drop everything. Play it super safe. Picking this one, I think Ace is going to try and get to Water Tower, but I don't think they get there in time. They're going to be forced back. There is a pallet here in what passes for a filler, but they held W through it and they get to Water Tower. Yeah, but I say you can't commit to that anymore. You got to come back here. You got to break off Chase, and now you can't go for the tunnel anymore. Survivors are jamming gens, and I think they've got a split. Yeah,
they do.
Effectively.
Ooh, let's see how they play that.
1 o'clock goes. Swinging through the pallets. And then now you're really worried about the top side one gen, but once again getting the reset onto Ace. Ace will take a tag, running away towards main building. I say they'll gladly take this chase to main building. They will gladly die now as they know where that last gen is being worked on. They held the window and didn't vault. Ace is doing so well now.
Oh, he got stuck right there. That kind of.
I think they're forcing the pick. Yeah, but I say they know that they can't last much longer, so they're going to try and get a reset or two off if they can.
Survivors are pretty good at keeping a gens not locked into a 3-gen.
They did a really good job. Yeah, they've got one way over there. They got the one towards the street side fixed up. You got a little bit of progress on this one. They do get a full reset off onto Claudette and Fung, but Rebecca will go down in the side. But that probably means that they're going to be rotating over and doubling. No, this gen actually has been erupted quite a bit, and that's going to be another pain res to boot on top of it. But it's not on. It was on the most close gen, so it actually wasn't the one over by Gallows.
Oh, interesting.
We see scratch marks rotating in. Okay, yeah, they're going to go for the scratch marks. They will let.
Yeah, they are.
I think that they predict that the gen over by. Actually, yeah. They should know what the Gallows gen is at because they know what the most progressed gen was like and when we got pain res over next to that hook. But they didn't get the tag there. Good call out from Claudette. Gonna be running away, and Rebecca, Fungman is gonna be taking chase into the back of the map. Kicking pallet, forcing them further back. I think they have one pallet here.
Yeah,
no, they
that
don't.
No.
They're leaving. Unhooked does come through, but now Fungman is effectively completely zoned. There's no resources back here anymore. All pallets have been dropped, but they are gonna make it to Shack.
Yeah, nice.
They're actually thinking about swapping over.
Yeah, they're leaving Chase to go to the other.
As Rebecca gets out of there early, Claudette will be leaving last. Good job, Rebecca, going to main. Now, the killer had a little bit of pressure there, but they kind of lost it a bit. Now the gens are split. They're still not a bad spot per se, but now you have to be a little bit careful because if they go back and double that gen, it'll pop. This chase has to be really quick here. And the survivors have done a really good job so far of making sure it's not quick.
Yeah, but I think you just... Oh. Yep, there it is.
They're doubling it. Do they make it in time? They're sticking. No, I'm about to say get it to that point and then let Claudette take the aggro. Rebecca maybe goes for the pickup. Oh, it wasn't a fast vault. Oh, I can't believe that wasn't a fast vault. I feel so robbed if I was that Claudette. Breaking the power.
Breaking that.
Oh no. Swing and a miss through the
Okay, well, that
window. Pickup does come through. They're going to be committed in this chase. This jet is very high progress. This will end up being down, but they're going to force the pick.
Oh, okay.
Survivors on the other end are going to be working on it. I don't know if they complete this. I think Claudette represents a pain res here. Yep. Rebecca's making their way early, taking this generator. That's about the 5th gen regression on that event on that the topside gen. This is grinding out a lot more than I was expected. I think they're trying to bait the chase there. Fung running out. It's gonna be another eruption being placed onto it. I like the patience of the killer for spending the time to do that. Vault coming through already. Fung makes no distance here. Unhook comes in on Claudette. But so that gen pops with eruption, and now working on it once again. I say Claudette needs to leave early. I say you got to leave at some point.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of in this cycle. Can they make a chase last? They're going to be splitting off onto the Rebecca, though. Rebecca will probably call that out to Claudette, but there's nowhere for this Rebecca to go. She's going to go to the back of the map, and I think this is the end of the line for the survivors, and it's going to be a 4K1 here.
Yeah. Oof.
A little bit rocky there for a bit, but killer clutching it.
Mm-hmm. And right in time when the regression was about to get stopped.
I was about to say, yeah, right when the regression event cap was about to be hit, they actually find they get one of the pickups. Survivors are actually not out of it yet. I thought this was gonna be 4K1, but they actually get the pickup in time. I didn't think they would make it around. Trying to stop the they're gonna force the pick, waste as much time as humanly possible. Bloodhead does make it back around. The server on ground, I think, actually is tenacity. No, they don't have tenacity, but they will get the pick. That's gonna be, is that final pain res? No, it was not a pain res seemingly. And so that hook comes in. Server's gonna be splitting. Now, what you said about the gen regression event earlier might actually come into play now, as these survivors have. Oh, but they catch the rotation on Claudette. Claudette got stuck a little bit there. And I think the gen's still regressing enough. They actually body block the window. Gonna force the pick, but at this point, I don't think it matters. I think Rebecca's too far on the other side. No, they actually ran all the way to get over here. They're gonna get the unhook.
Beelined it.
Survivors are not. They're not dead yet. I am shocked. I thought they would have been dead by now. Survivors are putting up one heck of a fight here.
They are. They literally said, no, we're not going down this quick.
Absolutely phenomenal job. But now we see both of them here.
Yeah,
I say they split off, go for the rotation. They have some resources here, though. The killer doesn't want to take too much chase. The servers have done really, really well with the resources they've been given left.
Yeah.
Holding around this tile. That's going to allow time for the unhook, most likely. We'll go down. There's the unhook.
Nice.
I'm going to say Claudette is beelining it to these pallets, and Claudette does make the pallet.
Nice.
Are they sticking that survivor back there to work on the gen? That's what the killer thinks, and Ziggo like, I cannot have them working on this gen.
Yeah.
It is not high progression, but it is progress nonetheless. They don't make this window. Going down. Imagine the pickup's gonna be coming in momentarily onto, I believe, Rebecca? No. I don't know if they get it in time. There's the pickup, but now this killer's right there. They go down over the pallet.
No.
Oh, that was a nasty hit. And I think it's all coming crashing down, folks. That was a lot of holdout. But the killer will have their 4K1.
But they were resilient, though. That survivors are still not going quickly for a snowball effect. They kind of stopped that twice, or at least 3 times, I think.
Yeah, really, really well done. And I mean, to be fair, 4K1 is not entirely uncommon on this set. The survivors fought that so hard. And that is going to be, yeah, 4K1 confirmed. And so it's all going to come down to this next set, or this next trial. Can Silence's survivors get 4 gens done? If they get 5 gens done, that's a win. Close win condition, not out of the park, but definitely difficult. We'll see what happens. But with that said, folks, that is going to be trial number 5 in the books. This has been a very, very weird swingy match. Something that I was not expecting coming into the playoffs, but all right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We are loading in for trial number 6. It is all down to this. Will it be a 4K1 tie? Will it be a 4K2 or 4K0? Any number of things. But regardless, Hysteric's got a 4K1 just to tie it. It's gonna be a tough ask. And see, okay, this is more what I'm thinking when I see a Wraith. Like, classic sloppy. And this killer did opt to bring Bamboozle. I'm curious if it's going to help them out.
Oh, yes. I could, yeah. Considering all the resources are going to be used off on this map, considered now that Bamboozle's in play.
Yeah, but I think I prefer this. Oh, survivors are playing aggro. I don't know how I feel about body blocks against sloppy. Unless this survivor is super comfortable. I'd be scared.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Yeah, I'm about to say this is gonna be hit through the window though. I say survivor not going for it as they expect the priest wing, but the killer also suspecting that, and that's going to be a relatively early down. However, we see a doubling on a gen. Yeah, doubling Gallows gen. Claudia's gonna get off of it preemptively, leave Nancy to work on it. Pain res does hit Nancy's gen, and that is all 4 gen, or saying all 4 perks revealed. As this is what I was talking about last game. This is the standard build I would go to for this map. And again, I don't blame the previous killer. We had some discussion about it, and oh, nasty hit through the pallet. Oh my word. Gonna come over here, kick the gen. No eruption though. And it's kind of what my inkling suspicion was correct. It's because of ping that bamboozled. Maybe survivors don't really want to try and gamble those windows too much, and so you don't have to necessarily bring it. But again, I still feel like maybe it's just like the standardized comfort pick for me. But again, it's hard to say. Claudette will be taking a potential aggro here just to try and get them off of Yuichi's back. However, Yuichi nowhere left to go.
That works, yeah. Unfortunate.
Expecting maybe a. I think they're expecting a head-on setup. No, I think they were expecting a head-on, and curious if it was going to happen. Oh my goodness, look at this gen progress though. After the pain res comes in, they've got a pretty good setup actually. 2 different gens popping for that second stage, so survivors are fighting back here. Nancy, but say no balanced landing. Actually, hold on. Killer's leaving a slug. You've got an injured Jake. Are they? Okay.
No.
Jake got reset.
They reset, yeah. But at least they know where the survivors are at now.
They have an idea, yeah. Claudette gonna be taking a tag around the pallet here. I think they take the tag. They see Jake rotating in. I think they could at least get a tag onto Jake. I don't think they stop the unhook. I don't think you even get a trade. No. But I think you get a tag onto Jake here potentially if you aim it right. They do. Everybody's injured. 1 slug on the ground still. And we see Claudette scrap horse to the right there, but they're going to be going straight for Yuichi. Not even hitting him through the window. Very patient, saying, I don't want to give you any distance here. I don't care if it's like the, the BT promise. They just want the down, and that was a good idea on the killer's part, because if they'd taken the tag, they made it to Water Tower, and Water Tower is a lot harder for this chase. But this way, they don't make anything, and that's a dead Yuichi at 3 gens remaining. Everyone's injured. They need to get some resets. Are they able to get some resets going? They get a reset off for 1 survivor. The killer knows they're resetting now. If they can find it, they're in a good spot. But I think they actually hit out really well here. Yeah, they are back in the meat of Gallows, and they're going to be looking at Jake instead. So reset will come through onto survivors. But again, we are in a 3v1 scenario. We'll see how they play it.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty hard. I mean, the good thing is that they got that reset. What? Just Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
that's
fair.
that's devilish. The survivor has boil over. That's okay.
Fortunately, there's
I'd be
there's
malding.
hooks.
Yeah, there is a hook nearby, so it's not going to come into play too much. But evil. That is evil gremlin behavior. Immediate pick though onto Jake. Nancy's gonna be caught out here. Dropping pallet, going around the side. Taking the vault.
Oh.
Holding to water tower. Okay.
They do. Nice.
Nancy holding, but that's gonna be bloodlust kicking in.
Oh.
Faking the vault. If they had vaulted, that actually would have been pretty nasty. But taking the tag, Jake has not been reset. I think they went up to top of main. No, Nancy's caught out here. That's gonna be a down. Jake is at main.
Huh.
And it looks like Claudette is on a separate gen elsewhere. We see Wraith coming in.
Just trying to.
Yeah, trying to predict where they come through.
In.
They do make window, vaulting through. And Jake has to go all the way back around. Reset coming in.
Oh, no.
But they're just taking distance as much as they can. It's going to be another hook coming in onto Jake. They get the pickup in the meantime. Claudette can be rotating around for the unhook here. Trying to figure out where they go for the unhook. They actually went for back in the top of the street here. I was about to say, if they came through main building, that would be so unfortunate for Claudette getting caught out in rotation, but they're going to go for an immediate pick otherwise. Nancy's still injured. No sign of the killer just yet.
Yeah, because the killer came back? No? Yeah.
Yeah, but I say good body block coming in for Claudette because they know that that would have been a hit onto Jake. Jake is now death hook though. Vault coming in, but they're not going to get anywhere. About to say Jake doesn't make this pallet.
Ooh, no.
And I think we're looking at Hysteric possibly clutching up the win here in set 3, folks. Survivors have been doing dutifully on the gens, but I don't know if it's enough. We're in the 2v1 and a third gen hasn't popped yet. Okay, third gen popped.
There it is.
They have to pop one more gen. And
just one more.
Yeah,
But
just
that's with
one
two
more.
survivors, both injured.
All right, we can see Claudette's progress on the gen. Nancy has to chase. Nancy wasn't even looking behind there for a second. Faking the swing, but they're not going to get it. They're going to leave him slugged on the ground. Go look for this Claudette. If Claudette can hide out, they can possibly hold it.
Oh, because she does one of fresh hooks, doesn't she?
They're both
Or was
fresh,
she
yeah.
already hooked?
Yeah, it's just a matter of they've just got to find the survivor. They want to ensure that there's no chance of them getting something done.
Hmm.
And they find Claudette. It is a confirmed 4K2 at this point, effectively, unless there's some crazy hijinks and chase, and they lose it, or they get a chance to pick them up under a pallet. This seems to be the end of the line, folks. This was a great match.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, they missed the shot. Vaulting through.
Okay.
But I don't think Nancy's in a position to get picked up here.
Picked up, yeah.
And that's vaulting back through.
Yeah.
And that will be... Wow. 4K2 confirmed. And in the end, a very, very close match. But Hysteric is going to win this first match of playoffs. Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. And it's unfortunate we're not going to be able to sit here and talk about or savor this match much as we have a match coming up. We have one coming up in just a moment. It's not too much longer. This game went right up until time, effectively. And
there's those bathroom breaks, that's why.
It is those bathroom breaks, those pesky bathroom breaks. Just how dare they, but yep, that will be all there is for this match. Both teams played incredibly well. But that is going to be, GG to silence, but congrats to Hysteric. And we're going to be waiting for those survivors to be sent back to the campfire in a nice, neat, orderly fashion. But in the meantime, We're going to cut corners a little bit here, Temmie. We're going to go off script, if you will. Yes, there was, in fact, a script, folks. But, Temmie, what you got going on, friend?
Nothing much. Of course, you could always catch me at twitch.tv/TemmieZolt, where unfortunately none of these gameplays happen, but mostly flashbangs do. But thank you for having me again. It was really a fun pleasure.
Yeah, it was lovely to have you back. And as always, I'm your little regard. I'll be here all day, folks. I am casting all 4 of these matches back to back to back to back. It's okay. I got coffee and water. I'll be fine. But regardless, lovely to have you all here. Again, this is the playoffs of season 12. We've got games today, we've got games tomorrow, and then we're going on a 1-week break, and then we'll have some more games following that. But it's kind of crazy. Season 12 felt like one of the best seasons we have had the privilege of hosting. Like, the games were amazing this season. Yes, I had a blast. But regardless, that is all we have here. We're moving on to the next match, which, if I remember correctly, is Vicinal and Despair. So stay tuned for that, folks. I'll be coming back with